What's up, guys? Welcome to the newest Flight Dojo video. It's been it's been like 3 years since I've made a video, and you know, I did want to continue the tutorial series that I was doing, but kind of like real life got in the way, and well, we didn't really finish. So there may be some videos I'm considered making in the coming weeks with the quarantine and all that, but as of right now, I did want to make a video that I was motivated to make because now that we're all trapped in our houses, I really just wanted to take my sim rig to the next level. I was using like a flimsy PVC rig, and well, the deal was that it just wasn't sturdy enough. It was flexing around, and I wasn't happy with it. So I went to Monstertech, which, you know, hats off to Monstertech. They make some of the greatest products in the business, and I wanted to just go, you know, all the way. And I went to order their full, what did they call it, the MTX-F sim rig, and well, you can see for yourself with shipping. You know, I didn't really want to spend $1,250 on a new rig. So I figured, you know, a lot of the reason that people use aluminum extrusion, or that's the kind of like the gold standard for sim rigs, is for rigidity, right? It's for strength. And so most of the strength that you need, I think, from a driving rig is because of the force feedback wheels, right? So you have a lot of actual force pounds, torque being applied to those wheels. And if you look at a lot of these actual flight sim rigs, because that's what mine's going to be used for predominantly, they don't really have that much force. But even then, you know, even if you wanted to put a force feedback driving wheel on something like this, I think it's sturdy enough to go ahead and do it. So anyway, I'll cut to the chase. I made mine out of wood, and before you scoff at that, here's my design. And the idea I had for this is I really wanted a sturdy connection between the actual pieces of the peripherals, right? So the joystick and the throttle and the frame itself. That's the weak point, right? So we want rigidity there. Well, thankfully, if you look here, the table mounts that Monstertech makes are incredible. That's an awesome product, and they're relatively inexpensive. You look, they're about $100, so like $120 for shipping, right? So I figured, okay, I'm going to build an entire rig based around this idea. I'm going to use these table mounts on my own frame, and that's what this is. You can see that I just took mostly 2x4s and a pine board, and I built this monstrosity. It's the sturdiest thing ever. And the thing that you can't see in this, that kind of makes the whole thing, in my opinion, is that another thing people like is the modularity of aluminum rigs. And this is modular. So way I built it is I put, you can't see it here, but there's 2 carriage bolts here, here, and here. And I'll show you guys. We'll cut to video of the actual rig. And that allows this module to completely come out, this module, the seat module, to come out, and then this is the actual framing rig for the table mounts. There are 2 carriage bolts on either side here, and you can use those as a module for itself. So this thing comes apart into 3 pieces plus these 2 boards, and so it's pretty easy to move. And the carriage bolt, if you don't know what a carriage bolt is, it's made to be worked with wood. I use 1/2 inch, so pretty big diameter because I wanted it to be very sturdy. But you can use those to essentially secure this, and it's not going anywhere. There is no flex at this at all. As far as you know, in retrospect, I really wish I would have recorded myself building the thing. Again, as far as the construction, this is pretty simple stuff, guys. I just made sure that the joints were square. I used a square clamp on most of these corners, and I just used really thick construction screws to screw the whole thing together. The only joints that aren't screwed together are the carriage bolt joints. So anytime I just use a 1/2 inch drill bit, drill a 1/2 inch hole through, and then put in the carriage bolt. So let's cut to the actual real life thing. And don't make fun of my room, because I haven't painted it.
So here is this behemoth in real life. It's pretty big. We'll get into measuring it. I'll go back into SketchUp with you guys, and we'll measure the pieces, and I'll show you a part list of how much wood you need, what you need to cut, the dimensions, and all that. But you can see here there are 3 modules. There's the seat module again, which is just this tower that's just Lincoln logs stacked up for height. And you can see those carriage bolts there that are holding it together to the main subframe. Then there's the module here. Again, you can see the carriage bolts that holds it in place. And it's this sucker, I mean, it's not moving for anything. This thing is, I mean, you can't move it for anything. You could put a force feedback wheel on that rather than a HOTAS mount. You can see that I'm using the Monstertech mounts, which are great. I was really surprised with how rigid they are. So they're not moving for anything. I mean, I can fly all this all day, and you're not getting any, you know, unwanted degrees of movement from your controls because of your flimsy rig with this at all. You can see this is the rudder paddle, excuse me, rudder pedal module, and you can't really see the carriage bolts. There you go. In the corner, that's holding that. And you can actually adjust this, so you can see that there's rails that are extend beyond the actual length of the module, and that's because if you're taller or shorter, all you got to do is just move it where you want it, drill new holes, and throw in your carriage bolts. So it's pretty straightforward. The TV mount is just a 1x10 board that I made. It fits over the whole rig itself and just holds my monitor where I want it to go. You could use whatever you wanted for that. But yeah, I'm impressed with it. I like it, and I think it's got just as much utility, and it's just as stable as an aluminum extrusion, if not, maybe not as pretty, but you know, I like pine, it's okay. So we'll go back into SketchUp and we'll talk about the dimensions.
And we're back in SketchUp after having looked at my messy office and my hidden hair, because it's way too long and I need to shave, and I haven't had a trip in a while, so I haven't had to shave. So we're gonna see how long maybe I can actually grow a full beard. But anyway, this sucker, it's pretty big. I wanted it to be sit a little wider than the aluminum extrusion, like the MTX, because it was wood. So I wanted to make sure, just for sure, that there was just no flexing or all, and it was very stable. So these are actually a little longer. You could probably shave these off, because you're most likely you're not gonna have this toe box all the way out. But these are 54 inches long. So the 54 inches. These are 25 inch 2x6s. And it's important to note these are 2x6s rather than 2x4s. I wanted to just add a little extra beef there just to make sure that it was very, very stable. So these 25 inch 2x6s and then 33 inches across here. So you need a 33, two 25s, and then this sucker is, how long is it? That is 30 inches. So you need a 30 inch, a 33 inch, and two 25 inches for this. These boxes that make up the seat module and the toe box are made up of comprised of 18s and 24. You got 24 inch 2x4 here, or excuse me, an 18 inch there, and then a 24 across. So you just stack those up like Lincoln logs, screw them all together, and then you start with this box in the bottom. Again, these are 24s by 18s, or excuse me, can't get it right. 24s by 18s. You get that all in there. So build the module and then screw it together at the end. So I built the whole box, you know, complete, and then at the end I just put it inside the rails, hold it all together with clamps, drill through the sides, and then there's your carriage bolts. It's not going anywhere. For this, same thing. You got your 1824s, and then I've got two reinforcement struts across the bottom inside, which are about 15 inches. So, and then you just have this board. The board's probably optional. Probably don't need the board. I think it looks a little cleaner. And then, you know, when you're mounting this stuff, before you drill it all together, so before you mount your carriage bolts and build all the modules, right? Stack it all together, and then get your peripherals all kind of set up on it, and then find out what's comfortable for you. Because there's a lot of moving things back and forth just with the ergonomics of like how close do I want, you know, the table to be to the chair and that kind of stuff. And fortunately, the chair that I got is actually adjustable, so you had a little bit of wiggle room there. So yeah, that's it. That's the completed rig. Hopefully that some of you can find this helpful and move on to the next level of your sim flying with a rigid, complete frame. And thanks for watching. See you next time.